to this IGCSE paper 2. Ali uses a fitness tracker to count his steps as he walks each day for 7 days. For the first 4 days, his number of steps is 11,800, and for the next 3 days, his mean number is 13,207. Work out his mean number of steps for 7 days. So his total number of steps for the first 4 days is 4 times 11800, which is, let's have a little look, 4 times 11800. So that's 47,200. And his mean amount of steps for the next 3 days is 3 times 13,207. That's 3 times 13,207 equals 30,621. And so for the whole of the 7 days, if you add those together, plus 47,200, you get 86,821. So for 7 days. Those are the amount of steps he took. So in order to find out his mean number for a day, we'll just divide that number by 7. That's 12,403, which makes sense because it's somewhere in between those two numbers. If we'd have got something much bigger or much smaller than that, we'd have had to think we were doing something wrong. Right, the table gives information about the distances in kilometres that teachers frequently travel to school. So let's make a cumulative frequency. It just means add the numbers as you go along. So 7 travel between 0 and 10, and then 17 between 10 and 20, so we'll make that 24. 18 between 20 and 30, so 18 plus 24 is 42. And then 14 between the next one, so that would be 56. That's 66, and that's 4 added on, that's 70, which is good because I think we've got 70 teachers. Lovely. Now, on the grid opposite, draw a cumulative frequency graph. So it's 10, we've got 7. At 20, we have 24. At 30, we have 42. At 40, we have 56. And then it goes 66 and 70 at 60. And now we do the lovely making it all look nice. Here we go. I wonder if any of the teachers live at the school. That would mean they didn't need to travel at all. Or maybe just walk to the classroom. Use a graph to find an estimate for the interquartile range of the distances. So we will take 70 people, so 35 is the median, and half of 35 is 17.5, so that would be here. I think that is 16-ish. And then if we add 17.5 to 35, we get 52.5, and that goes to there, and then that goes... A lot of this is just about trying to follow a line. I think I didn't manage to do that either. Let's just see somewhere around there. So let's call that 37. So 37 minus 16 equals 21 kilometres. Then use your graph to estimate the number of teachers who travel more than 46 kilometres. That's actually too far, isn't it, really? So 46 is here. So it's going to be more than 25%. And let's go down there. So that means, are we doing a percentage? Oh, it's just the number of teachers. So that would be, okay. Travel more, oh, no, good Lord, I just made a mistake. Right, hang on. Let's just go this way. Wrong. wrong. That was the teachers. So we're going to find 46. 46 is here. And we all make mistakes. Try not to make them in the exam though. That's 46. Well, that took me a while, and that goes to 61, I think. So only 9 of the teachers travel more than 46 kilometres. Well, that's an estimation. Anyway, show that 3y times 2y plus 5 times y plus 7 can be written like that. So let's start off by doing a little boom, 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 boom. So that's 2y plus 5, and that's y plus 7. And that's 2y squared plus 5y plus 14y plus 35. So let's write that out. So we get 2y squared plus 5y plus 14y plus 35. And now let's make those 1, the 5y plus 4y. So that's 2y squared plus 19y plus 35. And now let's times all of that by 3y. And we get 6y cubed plus 3 times 19 is going to be 57y squared plus 105y. And that is A, B, and C. So I'll just, that's A, that's B, and that's C. And finally, let's do this one. Solve 2x. We have an algebraic fraction, but we've got an equals, so it means we can find out what x is. So let's find a base for the bottom. I suppose I could just make it 100. Should we just make it 100? Okay. How many times does 5 go into 100? 20. So that's 20 to x plus 3 plus, and then 4 goes in to 100 25 times, so that's 25, 6x minus 5. I don't know if this is how I would normally do this, but anyway, we can get rid of that in a minute. So that's 40x plus 60 plus 150x minus 125 equals 163. And then that means, so that's 190x, and so 60 minus 125 equals 65 minus 65 equals 163, and then 190x equals, if you add that on, that's 228, and x equals 228 over 190. Let's just see what that gives us in terms of if that's right. 228 divided by 190 equals 6/5 or 1.2.